Middle-class family dinners have changed dramatically over the years, leaving behind many dishes that were once staples on American tables. Today, we'll explore 20 such foods, many of which were popular in the mid-20th century but are now almost forgotten. Let's dive into some of these memorable meals that brought comfort, convenience, and a unique flavor to family gatherings. Number 1. Chicken Tetrazini. Chicken Tetrazini is a classic American pasta casserole that became popular in the mid-20th century, particularly during the 1960s and 70s. The dish typically consists of diced chicken, cooked pasta, often spaghetti, mushrooms, and a creamy sauce made from a mixture of cream, chicken broth, and white wine. A signature touch of Parmesan cheese adds a distinct flavor, while breadcrumbs on top create a golden, crispy finish when baked. Although commonly made with chicken, variations with turkey and seafood were also popular as an affordable way to use leftovers. The name Tetrazini comes from Luisa Tetrazini, an Italian opera singer, despite no official ties to Italian cuisine. This comforting meal was beloved for its versatility and rich, creamy taste, making it a staple for family gatherings and potlucks. Number 2. Liverwurst sandwiches. Liverwurst sandwiches were once a common lunchtime meal, celebrated for their strong flavor and ease of preparation. The main ingredient, liverwurst, is a type of sausage made from pork liver, fat, and spices, creating a smooth and spreadable texture. Originating from Germany, where it is known as Leberwurst, this sausage became popular in America due to its affordability and nutritional content, being high in iron and B vitamins. Traditionally, liverwurst sandwiches were served on rye bread or pumpernickel, with condiments like mustard, pickles, or onions to enhance the taste. Some versions included cream cheese or horseradish for a sharper flavor contrast. It was often enjoyed cold, but some preferred to grill the sandwich for a warm, crispy finish. A highly versatile food, liverwurst became synonymous with quick, savory, protein-rich meals. Number 3. Celery Victor. Celery Victor is a lesser-known dish that hails from early 20th century California cuisine, specifically created by Victor Hertzler, the chef of the prestigious St. Francis Hotel in San Francisco. It was a favorite appetizer among diners looking for light, refined flavors. The dish consists of blanched celery stalks marinated in a tangy vinaigrette made with olive oil, wine vinegar, Dijon mustard, and fresh herbs like tarragon and chervil. The celery is then chilled and allowed to soak up the flavors before being served cold, often as an elegant first course or a side salad. In the 1920s and 1930s, Celery Victor was considered sophisticated and fashionable due to its French-inspired preparation. This dish is low-calorie, yet full of flavor, appealing to the tastes of those who enjoyed refreshing, crisp textures with a hint of acidity. Though it fell out of popularity in the latter half of the 20th century, its minimalist plant-based profile aligns well with modern culinary trends focused on simplicity and clean eating. Number 4. Hawaiian haystacks. Hawaiian haystacks are a unique build-your-own dinner concept that emerged in American households during the 1970s and 1980s, known for their mix-and-match toppings. The dish starts with a base of white rice topped with a creamy chicken sauce, usually made from shredded chicken mixed with cream of chicken soup and sour cream. From there, a wide range of toppings is added, offering a variety of flavors and textures. Popular toppings include diced tomatoes, pineapple chunks, shredded cheese, green onions, olives, coconut, chow mein noodles, and nuts. The name Hawaiian likely comes from the inclusion of pineapple and coconut, although the dish itself has no true connection to Hawaiian cuisine. Its appeal lies in its customizable nature and the interactive, fun aspect of assembling your own plate. It was particularly popular for family dinners and potlucks, where each person could personalize their meal to taste. Despite falling out of favor in recent years, the concept is similar to modern food bowls, showing how adaptable and timeless this dish can be. Number 5. Corn fritters. Corn fritters are a classic comfort food with a history rooted in Southern and Native American cooking. They were originally made as a way to use up fresh corn during peak harvest season. The batter is made from flour, eggs, milk, and baking powder, combined with corn kernels that add a naturally sweet and juicy burst of flavor. Some recipes include additional ingredients like sugar for sweetness, scallions for a savory twist, or even jalapenos for a spicy kick. The batter is then pan-fried until golden brown, creating a crispy outside and a soft, tender inside. Corn fritters were traditionally served as a side dish to accompany meals like fried chicken or barbecue, but they also make for a tasty snack or breakfast option when drizzled with honey or maple syrup. Over time, canned and frozen corn allowed this dish to be prepared year-round, making it a beloved, versatile favorite. Today, they are sometimes served with a spicy dipping sauce or sour cream to add a modern twist to this nostalgic dish. Number 6, potato rolls. Potato rolls are soft, fluffy bread rolls that incorporate mashed potatoes into the dough, giving them a unique texture and flavor. The addition of potatoes provides moisture, resulting in rolls that are tender and stay fresh longer compared to traditional bread. The starch in the potatoes also contributes to their light, airy interior, making them perfect for sandwiches, sliders, or as a side dish to soak up gravies and sauces. Originally an inventive way to use up leftover mashed potatoes, they became popular for their mild, slightly sweet flavor and versatility. The dough typically consists of flour, yeast, sugar, butter, eggs, and mashed potatoes, and may include milk or cream for extra richness. Potato rolls have a history in many European cultures and were later embraced by American families, especially around holiday times when big batches were made to accompany festive meals. Brushed with butter before baking, they develop a golden, slightly crispy top. Their popularity also stems from their adaptability. Some versions include herbs or cheese for additional flavor, while others are sprinkled with sea salt or seeds for extra crunch. Number 7. Steak Diane. Steak Diane is a retro classic dish that became a symbol of sophistication and flair in the mid-20th century. It was often served tableside in upscale restaurants, where chefs would flambe the steak with brandy for an added element of drama. The dish features thinly pounded beef tenderloin or strip steak, quickly seared in a hot pan to retain juiciness. The pan sauce is key. After cooking the steak, the same pan is used to create a savory sauce made with shallots, butter, Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, and a splash of brandy or cognac, which is often ignited to burn off the alcohol. Finished with heavy cream or stock, the sauce is poured over the steak for a rich, velvety finish. It was a popular choice for dinner parties in the 1950s through the 70s, as it brought restaurant-style flair to the home kitchen. The dish was named Diane, either in reference to Diana, the Roman goddess of the hunt, or as a nod to sophisticated French naming conventions that were popular at the time. Though it fell out of fashion, its elegant simplicity and robust flavor are bringing it back to modern tables. Number 8, chicken Morango. Chicken Morango is a classic French-inspired dish said to have been created by Napoleon's chef after the Battle of Morango in 1800. According to legend, with limited ingredients on hand, the chef used what was available: chicken, tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, and wine. Traditionally, chicken Morango is a braised chicken dish with flavors of tomatoes, onions, and mushrooms, often garnished with black olives and prawns. It's cooked in a rich, savory sauce that develops from searing the chicken and then simmering it in wine and broth. Some variations add flour for thickening, creating a stew-like consistency, while others incorporate herbs like thyme and parsley to enhance the flavor. The addition of cognac, a hallmark of French cuisine, gives depth to the sauce. The dish was highly regarded as it brought a touch of French elegance to simple ingredients. By the 1960s and 70s, chicken Morango became a popular choice in American kitchens for its rustic yet sophisticated taste, offering a balance of acidity from the tomatoes and the savory depth from the chicken and wine, making it both an impressive and comforting dish. Number 9. Oyster stew. Oyster stew is a traditional dish in American coastal cuisine, particularly in New England and the South, where oysters were once plentiful and inexpensive. Typically enjoyed during the winter and especially around the holidays, it's a simple yet flavorful dish made by gently cooking fresh oysters in a creamy broth. The stew often starts with sautéing butter and aromatics like onions or celery, then adding milk or cream and letting it heat just to the point before boiling to preserve the delicate flavors. Fresh oysters, along with their liquor, the liquid they're packed in, are added toward the end, cooking just until their edges curl. Seasoned with salt, pepper, and sometimes a dash of paprika or cayenne for a bit of heat, oyster stew is celebrated for its rich, briny flavor and velvety texture. Many regional variations exist, with some adding ingredients like potatoes, herbs, or bacon for a smokier profile. Once a go-to festive dish in the mid-20th century, it's less common today, largely due to the rising cost of fresh oysters and changing tastes. Number 10, herring salad. Herring salad is a traditional dish in various Northern and Eastern European cuisines, particularly Scandinavian, Jewish, and Russian. The dish combines pickled or smoked herring, which imparts a strong, briny flavor, with ingredients like diced apples, potatoes, onions, beets, and sometimes hard-boiled eggs. The mix is often dressed with sour cream, mayonnaise, or a vinaigrette to create a creamy, tangy taste. The herring is usually marinated with vinegar, sugar, and spices to balance its bold flavor and is mixed with the other ingredients to create a contrast of textures: crunchy apples, soft potatoes, and tender fish. This dish was popular among immigrants in the U.S. and brought to American tables in the mid-20th century, where it was appreciated for its unique flavors and vibrant colors. Variations might include mustard, capers, or dill to elevate the dish. Herring salad was often enjoyed during holidays and gatherings and served chilled as part of a festive spread. It's a well-loved dish for those who appreciate a mix of sweet, sour, and savory flavors, along with a deep cultural connection. Number 11, steamed pudding. Steamed pudding is a traditional dessert with roots in British cuisine, known for its dense, moist texture and rich flavor. Unlike baked puddings, it is made by steaming a batter of flour, eggs, butter, sugar, and various add-ins like dried fruits, nuts, and spices. The batter is poured into a mold or bowl, tightly covered, and then steamed for several hours over simmering water. This method preserves moisture, resulting in a dessert that is much softer and moister than its baked counterparts. There are numerous varieties, including savory versions, but the most famous is probably the Christmas pudding, filled with raisins, currants, and brandy. Steamed puddings were popular in the 19th and early 20th centuries when they were a staple for special occasions and holidays. They are often served warm, sometimes with sauces like custard hard sauce, a mixture of sugar, butter, and brandy or rum, or cream. The slow cooking process allows flavors to develop deeply, and the pudding can be made in advance, enhancing its taste over time. Although less common today, steamed pudding carries a nostalgic value, reminding people of simpler, home-cooked desserts that took time and care to prepare. Number 12, rabbit stew. Rabbit stew is a traditional and rustic dish that highlights the delicate, lean meat of the rabbit, known for its mild flavor similar to chicken, but with a slightly richer taste. A popular dish in European peasant cuisine, rabbit stew was born out of necessity, utilizing wild game available in rural regions. The meat is ideal for stewing due to its leanness, which becomes tender when slow cooked. The stew is typically made by browning rabbit pieces in a pot, then simmering them with aromatic vegetables like carrots, onions, and celery, alongside herbs such as thyme, rosemary, and bay leaves. Some recipes include wine or beer for additional depth and acidity, and potatoes or root vegetables are added for a heartier dish. The key to rabbit stew is slow cooking, which allows the flavors to meld and the meat to become tender and flavorful. While it was once commonly found on American family tables, rabbit is now less frequently consumed, as it has become more of a delicacy. The stew continues to be a classic in regions like France, Spain, and Italy, where it is considered a comfort food and often paired with crusty bread or polenta. Number 13, Bouillabaisse. Bouillabaisse is a traditional Provençal fish stew originating from the port city of Marseille, France. Historically, it was created by fishermen as a way to use the bony rockfish they couldn't sell at the market, turning them into a flavorful broth. The dish is characterized by a combination of different types of fish and shellfish, such as red mullet, monkfish, mussels, and crabs, which are simmered together in a rich broth infused with tomatoes, saffron, fennel, leeks, garlic, and herbs like thyme and bay leaf. The stew is prepared in two parts. The fish and seafood are poached separately to preserve their delicate textures, and the broth is intensely flavored and often served with a rouille, a garlicky, saffron-infused mayonnaise spread on toasted baguette slices. Traditionally, bouillabaisse is served in two courses. First, the broth is consumed, and then the fish and seafood are served alongside. This dish is highly regional and can vary in preparation based on the available fish. It has become a symbol of Mediterranean cuisine and is celebrated for its aromatic depth and complex flavors, representing a culinary experience that is as much about taste as it is about tradition and culture. Number 14, borscht. Borscht is a vibrant beet-based soup that has a long history in Eastern European cuisine, particularly in Ukraine, Russia, Poland, and Lithuania. It is renowned for its deep red color and earthy, slightly sweet flavor derived from beets. Traditional borscht often includes a variety of vegetables, such as cabbage, potatoes, carrots, and onions, which are sautéed to build flavor before being simmered with beets in a broth. Meat is commonly added for depth, either beef, pork, or sometimes chicken, but vegetarian versions are also popular. To balance the beet's natural sweetness, borscht is typically finished with a splash of vinegar, lemon juice, or kvass, a fermented bread drink, to add acidity and complexity. The soup is traditionally served hot with a dollop of sour cream, fresh dill, and sometimes a sprinkle of garlic or green onion for brightness. A summertime variation exists, often served chilled and referred to as cold borscht or svekolnik, featuring lighter ingredients like cucumber and kefir. Borscht was brought to the U.S. by Eastern European immigrants and became known for its hearty, comforting qualities and vibrant appearance, making it a dish that's equally nourishing and visually striking. Number 15, ratatouille. Ratatouille is a traditional Provençal dish from France, celebrated for its rich flavors and use of fresh seasonal vegetables. It is a vegetable stew made by sautéing and then slowly cooking a combination of eggplant, zucchini, bell peppers, tomatoes, and onions, typically in olive oil. Each vegetable is often cooked separately to maintain its distinct flavor and texture before combining them together, creating a layered and aromatic dish. Garlic and fresh herbs like thyme, basil, and bay leaf are commonly added to enhance the flavor. The key to ratatouille is the balance of sweetness from the tomatoes, earthiness from the eggplant, and brightness from the peppers and herbs. Traditionally served as a side dish or as a light main course, it can be enjoyed hot, cold, or at room temperature, often with crusty bread, or as a topping for pasta or rice. Originating as a rustic peasant food designed to make the most of abundant summer produce, it has evolved into a popular, versatile dish that highlights Mediterranean flavors and the concept of simple, healthy eating. Number 16, haddock mornay. Haddock mornay is a classic fish dish that features poached haddock fillets covered in a rich, creamy cheese sauce known as mornay sauce. This sauce is a bechamel, white sauce made from butter, flour, and milk, enhanced with grated cheese, typically Gruyere or sharp cheddar, which gives it a velvety texture and deep flavor. The haddock is first lightly poached in milk, or a mixture of milk and fish stock to maintain its delicate texture, and to infuse a subtle taste into the liquid. The poaching liquid is often used as a base for the mornay sauce to intensify the flavor. Once poached, the fish is arranged in a baking dish, topped generously with the cheese sauce, and finished with a layer of breadcrumbs or grated cheese before being baked until golden and bubbling. This dish is hearty, yet refined, served either as a main course with sides like potatoes or green vegetables, or even as a sophisticated brunch option. The contrast between the flaky fish and the creamy, cheesy topping makes haddock mornay a comforting yet elegant meal often associated with European and British culinary traditions. Number 17, frog legs. Frog legs, a delicacy in French cuisine, have a mild flavor and a texture often compared to both chicken and fish. They are rich in protein and low in fat, making them a lean source of meat. Frog legs have been consumed for centuries, especially in countries like France, China, and some parts of the southern United States. Prepared in a variety of ways, they are commonly sautéed, fried, or grilled. A classic French preparation is to sauté them in butter, garlic, parsley, and lemon juice, known as cuisse de grenouilles. In the U.S., especially in southern cuisine, frog legs are often battered and fried, providing a crispy coating that complements the tender meat. The preparation methods focus on enhancing the subtle flavor without overpowering it, allowing the natural taste to come through. Historically, frog legs were seen as an exotic and adventurous food in America, gaining popularity in the mid-20th century when global culinary influences grew. However, they are less commonly found today, often only appearing in gourmet restaurants or cultural food festivals. Despite their decline in mainstream cuisine, frog legs remain appreciated by adventurous eaters and those looking to explore unique flavors. Number 18, chicken Marbella. Chicken Marbella is a distinctive dish that gained popularity in the 1980s after being featured in the Silver Palette cookbook by Sheila Lukens and Julie Rosso. The recipe stands out for its Mediterranean-inspired mix of flavors, sweet, savory, and tangy. It involves marinating chicken in a combination of prunes, green olives, capers, garlic, oregano, red wine vinegar, and olive oil, allowing the meat to absorb a unique balance of flavors. The marinade typically sits overnight to deepen the complexity of the dish. When ready to cook, the chicken is baked with brown sugar and white wine, which creates a caramelized finish and a deliciously rich sauce. The contrast between the sweet prunes, briny olives, and the acidity of vinegar makes it an incredibly layered and flavorful meal. The dish is often garnished with fresh herbs like parsley and is served with sides like rice, couscous, or potatoes to soak up the sauce. Chicken Marbella is appreciated for its sophisticated yet straightforward preparation and is still celebrated for its ability to elevate simple ingredients into an elegant meal, perfect for entertaining. Number 19, roast goose. Roast goose was once a centerpiece of European holiday feasts, particularly around Christmas, long before turkey took over in popularity. Goose has a richer, darker meat compared to turkey or chicken, with a distinct flavor and a higher fat content that results in crispy, golden skin when roasted. The fat rendered during roasting can be used for cooking, especially for roasting potatoes, as it imparts a unique flavor and crispiness. The preparation involves seasoning the bird with salt, pepper, herbs like thyme or sage, and sometimes stuffing it with fruits like apples, prunes, or oranges to add moisture and aroma. Roast goose pairs well with hearty sides such as red cabbage, roasted root vegetables, or bread stuffing, and is often accompanied by a rich gravy made from its drippings. The high fat content also means that the meat stays moist during the roasting process, making it an ideal choice for special gatherings. In many cultures, especially German and British households, roast goose represented festive opulence and tradition. Its popularity has waned over time due to the longer cooking process and difficulty sourcing goose, but it remains a prized dish for those who seek a flavorful and traditional roast. Number 20, rabbit fricassee. Rabbit fricassee is a classic French dish featuring rabbit meat slowly braised in a creamy sauce until it becomes tender and flavorful. The word fricassee refers to a cooking technique that involves first sautéing meat until lightly browned and then simmering it in a liquid to develop deep flavors. The dish often begins by seasoning the rabbit pieces, then browning them in butter or oil. Aromatic vegetables like carrots, onions, and celery are added, along with herbs such as thyme and bay leaves to build complexity. A broth or stock, chicken or vegetable, is used as the simmering liquid, sometimes with a splash of wine to add acidity and depth. The sauce is enriched with cream or a roux, flour and butter mixture, to thicken it, resulting in a velvety finish. Unlike many stews, fricassee aims to keep the meat moist and the sauce creamy rather than overly thick. Traditionally, it is served with sides like mashed potatoes, rice, or crusty bread to soak up the sauce. Rabbit fricassee is appreciated for its delicate yet rich flavor and tender meat, offering a comforting and elegant option for both family dinners and special occasions.